Hello everybody! Today we're going to be taking a look at our smelling jars. Each of our jars has a different smell inside. The smells that we will be experiencing today are basil, rosemary, mint, and lavender. So let us take a look inside our jars and see what they smell like. What do you think it smells like? That's right. I smell rosemary too. Let's take a look at our next jar. What do you think this jar smells like? That's right, it smells like mint to me too. Let's see what's in our next jar. What does this jar smell like to you? It does. It smells like lavender to me too. Let's see what's in our last jar. What does this jar smell like to you? It smells like basil to me too. Now that we know what our jars smell like, let's see if we can remember and match them to our cards. Let's start with our lavender card. Do you remember which jar smelled like lavender? Did this jar smell like lavender? No. Did this jar smell like lavender? No. Did this jar smell like lavender? Yes, it did. So they match. This is what our lavender plant looks like, and this is what it smells like. Next we have our mint card. Let's see what jar smells like mint. Did our first jar smell like mint? No, that's right. Let's see our next jar. Did our second jar smell like mint? That's right, it did. So this is what our mint looks like, and this is what it smells like. Let's see what we have next. Rosemary. let's find a jar that smells like rosemary. Did this jar smell like rosemary? That's right, it did. It smelled like rosemary. So this is what our rosemary plant looks like, and this is what it smells like. We're looking for the jar that smells like basil. Did our last jar smell like basil? That's right, it did. So this is what our basil plant looks like, and this is what our basil plant smells like. So today we have looked at and smelled each of our herbs and plants. Let's see if we can name them one more time. We looked at and smelled rosemary. We looked at and smelled mint. We looked at and smelled lavender. And we looked at and smelled basil. Which one was your favorite smell today? Was it? That's lovely. My favorite smell was the mint. Now I'm going to put the lids back on our jars. Shall we start with the rosemary? Okay. Rosemary. This was rosemary. Rosemary. Next, I'm going to put the lid back on the mint. 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 Next, I'm going to put the lid back on the lavender. Lavender. And last, I'm going to put the lid back on our basil. Basil. Thank you for watching, and you can repeat this video at any time.